Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Today we want to talk to you about camping in and around Zion National Park.
And so the first thing we're going to talk about is know where you're coming from. We were coming from Bryce, and looking at the Utah map, it looks like Highway 9 just comes right straight through Zion National Park, and you can choose wherever you want to park on east or west or in the park. And if you are towing anything, there are very strict restrictions about what you can take across that Highway 9 for two main reasons. One is there's a tunnel that is 1.1 miles long, and the height on the side is 11 feet 4 inches high, and the height in the middle is 13.1, but the width is
7 feet 10 inches. If you're over that, you need to, or higher than.
If you're over the 710, you're gonna any of those measurements, you're gonna have to
pay an extra $15.
Right now, the fee is $15 for them to stop traffic and allow you to drive down the middle of the tunnel. I've not seen any fifth wheels, I don't think, come through that tunnel. We have seen Class C's they've had to stop for, travel trailers they've had to stop for, but they're going to have to stop that traffic. That's one reason, and the other is there are 8 hard switchbacks.
Yes.
And you're either gaining altitude or losing altitude as you're doing all of this. The altitude change within that mile on the tunnel is right at 300 feet. But then you have switchbacks that you're going down to the base of the canyon.
Or up. You're coming.
And so we want to let you know that before you get started. If you turn from Mount Carmel, which, by the way, there is a Chevron there, where if you make a purchase, we filled up with gas, we were able to use the dump station and fresh water for free. So we were coming from Bryce, yes. We stopped there. And we have stopped at dispersed camping on the east. And let's just kind of go east to west on this one. We had done our research, and we had seen this dispersed camping option on the east side. It really looked good to us. I had already decided if we were going to the west side, I would probably opt to drive. It's going to be a long drive to get around the park, but rather than towing through the park, not just because of the tunnel, not just because of the switchbacks, but that along with the scenic pullouts and people not really clearing the road, and then driving through the zoo that is the visitors area and Springdale, I would rather opt to drive around. I honestly don't think it would take that much longer.
No, it wouldn't.
And I wouldn't be towing when I came back. So we are on the east side, and I'm going to give you GPS coordinates here because the GPS coordinates we had were actually for where we're camping. Well, you have to pass the road that turns off, and then the GPS told us to get off road. Well, we're on a kind of a overpass thing, and so we couldn't. Had to turn around and come back.
And it makes it a harder turn.
It makes it a harder turn when you're coming the opposite direction. But Mylena had done the reading. You'll notice from the satellite view, you can kind of see there are 2 roads that turn off up into this. You turn off on what used to be
a paved road.
You can see the stripes occasionally on the part that still has asphalt. And Mylena had read, and you can see on GPS,
yes,
don't take the first road. Go to the second one. You take the second one, there's a big open area. And what we did was we just pulled over, got out our bikes, and then just kind of scoped out where we wanted to be.
There's kind of a lower section here and an upper and then some other stuff. And we wanted to see where exactly would be the best place for us. We're not real comfortable on just sand. So we wanted to see if there's something kind of hard packed.
But the road that we took up here is no problem, 2-wheel drive,
it's
low.
Much better than the asphalt.
Yes, it actually is. But I will say there are people with higher clearance vehicles. There are some RVs scattered throughout. So they're there. We've seen a lot of tent campers and people camping out of their cars in this area. As you can see, the view's not bad any direction you look. So we're very pleased. The other thing we want to say about the camping on this side as opposed to the west side. We did drive through the park and went to where the road turns off for the dispersed camping on the west side. We're about 1,500 feet higher here.
Yes.
So that means about 15 degrees cooler here.
And right now, that's not critical. It'd be very warm in the afternoons, but in the summer, it could make a huge difference.
And so, there are privately owned options. Even on this east side, there's a place that has some cabins. There's even an RV resort.
Yes.
And they have some tent spaces there. So if you're wanting something that's more of a campground or with some hookups, they're actually developing more here on the
Yes.
east side.
The
the
west side
campground
Yes.
in Zion
has no hookup.
has no hookups, and I believe it's $20 a night.
I think I didn't
thereabout.
pay attention.
But there are a number of sites that are reserved specifically for tents. And so, as with any of the national parks, you're going to need to do two things.
Yes.
One is,
Reserve early.
yeah, as soon as you know, and 6 months out is as soon as they open it, do your research before the 6 months. Look at these sites that your RV will fit if you're
And
towing
be
an RV.
sure you're going to be here on those days.
And make those reservations, make them early, and those are the things you're going to need to do if you want to stay in the park. And I got to tell you, the campsites aren't that great in the park. I mean, they're campsites, but you're kind of really slotted in, but the view is amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it is awesome. But that also means you're going to have to be dealing with the traffic all the time. And so just bear that in mind. We drove through the town of Springdale, and there are lots of options on that side.
There are hotels, there are motels,
And there are privately
RV.
owned resorts,
Yes.
etc. And I got to be honest, we did that the day we got here. Temperature was already in the 90s, and it was just crazy, the traffic
Yes.
on that side.
And if you want to park, God forbid, in Springdale, even on the road, you pay for on the shoulders.
On dirt on the
Yeah.
side of the road, you're paying.
And a lot, we saw the price was $30.
$30 to pull in a gravel lot somewhere. So, I will be honest, there is dispersed camping on the west side. I had done some research and looked into it, but by the time we got from here, literally just drove all the way
Yes.
through to there, we were so hot and tired, we didn't drive out to the dispersed on that side, and I apologize for that.
We'd planned on going to Hurricane, but
Hurricane, yeah, but we did not
Did
get
not
there.
get there.
But we did get some video of the campsites in Zion and the dispersed that we're
Yes.
doing here and the options that are along the way on this side. But do want to just tell you, we are very pleased with where we are. We have not seen that many RVs, I think about 5 in this area.
Yeah.
But there's room. There's room for plenty more. And so, at least while we're here, there is. And so, anyway, we are pleased with this. We do have a video about our visit to Zion.
yes.
And something that we are going to be working on, I don't have it yet, but that is free camping near the Mighty Five, because we have been so pleased with where we've gotten to stay.
We could not have been any more pleased, I don't think.
And this is our 5th and final of the Mighty Five, and so I will tell you, we're going to throw in a couple of bonuses on that video about Escalante, the Grand Staircase Escalante, North Rim of the Grand Canyon, and Natural Bridges.
Yes.
Which places we're planning on doing some free camping at. We've already done the others, we just have the North Rim yet to go. But anyway, like I said, I apologize that we don't have video of the west side, but like it was a lot further than I thought it was going to be, and it was a lot hotter than I thought it was going to be. And so just wanted to bring you the pictures of where we are, and as always, we appreciate your time, and thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.